students. Now today we are going to start with management principles. So today we are going to start with Taylor's scientific principles. So over on the screen you can see the definition of scientific management is given. Actually, scientific management can be defined as application of science for each and every element of management. So Taylor has given the definition. Scientific management means knowing exactly what you want men to do and seeing that they do it in the best and the cheapest way. We have done this, you can remember that part when we discussed the definition of management, that this was the best and the cheapest way, that is the efficiency. Then we come to the first principle given by Taylor, science not rule of thumb. You can see on screen, science not rule of thumb. According to this principle, Taylor insists that each job performed in the organization should be based on scientific inquiry, not on personal experience. Taylor believed that there is only one best method to maximize efficiency, and this method can be developed through work, study, and analysis. So the heading is given science not rule of thumb. So here it is very important, student, to understand the meaning of rule of thumb. You can see on screen, rule of thumb means dictatorship of managers. It means the decision is taken by a manager on the basis of his own experience. So according to Taylor, the manager should not take decision on the basis of his own experience, but the decision should be based on scientific, they should take scientific decisions. For example, decision regarding standard time to do a particular job or duration of rest interval for workers should be decided scientifically after deep observation and experimentation, not the way the manager feels. Then we start with the second principle, scientific principle given by Taylor, harmony, not discord. Factory system of production implied that managers serve as a link between the owners and the workers. Taylor emphasized that there should be a complete harmony between the management and workers. Taylor insists that there is need for both the group to change their attitude for each other. He insists on mental revolution. Now, generally in every organization, we all are aware of the two groups are there, workers and management group. So there should be a complete harmony between these two groups. And on screen, the most important thing, the Taylor has insisted on mental revolution. So you should, students, you should know the meaning of mental revolution. Mental revolution means the change of attitude. There should be a complete change of attitude uh, of workers as well as the management people towards each other. They must develop positive thinking for each other and work with harmony and avoid discord as their objective are in one direction only. Management should share the gain of the company with workers. At the same time, worker must contribute to at their best level. Then only organization will achieve its objective. Then we move towards the next third principle given by Taylor, cooperation, not individualism. That is, this principle actually is the extension of the harmony, not discord. This principle says that both the management as well as worker, they should realize the need of each other. Management should welcome constructive suggestion of employees. At the same time, workers should resist from going on strikes and making unreasonable demand on the management. So there should be a complete cooperation between labor and management. Then only the organization can achieve its objective. So when the management people are doing their work, say for example they are taking some decisions, so they should welcome workers. They invite workers in that decision making process, and at the same time workers should understand the problem of management people and before if any problem is there, they should talk to the management people. Unnecessary, they should not create any problem for the management people. Then we come to the next principle given by Taylor: development of each and every person to his or her greatest efficiency and prosperity. Now, students, remember one thing: industrial efficiency depends on the efficiency of workers. Definitely, if the workers are efficient, the result of the organization will be perfect. Taylor was of the view that the concern for efficiency should be built in right from the process of employee selection. It means before the employee is going to enter in the organization, at the time of selection only, if they are going to select employees in a very scientific manner, it means they are going to select the right person, then definitely it is good for the organization. Minimum wastage of resources will be there. You can see on screen, it's mentioned over there, each person should be scientifically selected, and after once they have selected the selected employees, then the next part, then work assigned should be suit his or her physical, mental and intellectual capabilities. The work should be assigned according to the capability of employee. Then time to time they should send employee for training to upgrade employee, so that the employee to update their knowledge, to upgrade them, they should be aware of the latest technology, and that is this principle focus on to increase the efficiency. And that's why you can see the heading: development of each and every person to his or her greatest efficiency and prosperity. Then only development of organization, efficiency or prosperity of organization is possible. That's it.